The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down, there's a light that never goes out.
Welcome back to the Homegrown Nerds podcast with your host, Ace Lambertus, and
Bryce D. Young.
we're joined here today by Sky Kola.
Hi.
That's who read to you. Now, where is that quote from?
That's from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Kingdom Hearts 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So today we are talking about Kingdom Hearts. We've mentioned it before in the podcast, and we brought on somewhat of an expert.
I don't know if I'm an expert, but I've been playing Kingdom Hearts since like it came out. It's my favorite video game of like everything I've ever played. It's the first game that I ever really got into and got me into playing video games. So
you're a big fan of it.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah. I haven't even played like every single game all the way through because there's like 50 games.
There's a crap load.
There's
I wouldn't have expected
9
you
games.
to play. Yeah, I would not have expected you to play the handheld one.
Oh yeah, but see, I have it because now they've made like Final Mix versions and Final Mix like extra special versions
Yep.
for like the PlayStation 4. So I have them all now, and I am working on playing through them all again.
on playing through them all.
But
again.
then I get stuck somewhere, and I'm like, then I go back and I just start playing Kingdom Hearts 2 again
Oh,
because that's my favorite one.
fair enough. Yep, I've only ever played the first one and most of the third one.
Okay, you haven't even finished
I
the third
still
one yet?
haven't gotten
Oh,
past
no.
Arendelle. I
Oh
just,
man, that's a rough level.
It's. I want to hurt something deeply.
Did I really have to sit through the entire segment of Let It Go? Did I really need the
Yes.
whole song?
I did, and the maps are just poor. Finding Olaf's pieces was dumb.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a kids game, so that I
Yes.
get that, but like it's a
Yeah.
weak world.
Yeah.
So am I allowed to say spoilers about Kingdom Hearts
Yes.
3? Okay.
Yeah, especially since I've only played like the first hour of the first game. That's all I've ever
Oh,
played.
wow.
It is not my type of game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, oh, this is a terrible game because blah, blah, blah. I'm not that guy. I don't do that. A game is for a certain people, and that niche will be supplied. I think that's the right word. It will go with it.
Yeah.
That works.
A strange turn of phrase, but I think it made sense.
Listen, a strange is the way I go.
It made sense to me, and I think it made sense to you. So
I
therefore,
think I'm picking up
that's-
what you're laying. I think I got it.
That's what's important. All right. So yes, spoilers are
They are allowed.
are very much allowed.
Okay. Awesome.
It's hard to talk about this game without talking spoilers.
Right.
Because you talk about anything past game 1 and you're talking spoilers.
Yeah. So, and with Kingdom Hearts 3, it's been out for a little bit now. People have had a chance to play it. I mean, I beasted through it in 3 days just for the story because I'm like, I have to know
You have
like
to
how
know.
this ends.
I can't play games like that.
Yeah, I know. I usually can't, but I asked 3 days off of work when this game came out because I've been waiting 13 years.
It has
for
been a
Kingdom
while.
Hearts 3.
It has been a very long time.
Yeah.
Like the collective fandom of Kingdom Hearts, like right now, is in this really weird mode because like we're not really waiting for anything
Yeah.
anymore.
You're no longer waiting. What are you going to do with all that mental energy that is no longer expended waiting?
Right, and most of us are a little disappointed. But they've just announced, I guess there's DLC that they're coming out with for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I saw that. I saw that there was an announcement for DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. I didn't see anything like on it, but
They just released a critical mode, and that was like a free thing. But I'm not ready for that yet.
you're not quite ready for.
I'm not quite ready to play critical mode. But
Oh, gosh.
Well, have they talked about what the content will be for the other DLCs?
not that I have seen that they've announced anything specific on that.
What do you think it could be?
I think I really hope that it's not more mini games.
Oh,
So
gosh.
tired of the mini games. There's a lot of mini games in this one, and they're like. Luckily, I have a husband who plays the mini games for me because I'm really bad at it. There's a cooking
Yep.
mini game. Like you're actually
Like
you're trying
Cooking Mama?
you're trying to
Yes.
crack eggs and
But the thing is, you only have to crack like one.
but
or-
it's really
yeah,
hard
like,
to do.
Timing wise, yes.
Because it's all timing based.
And it's counterintuitive. So like take for instance shaking the pepper. So you have to like shake pepper into a pan while you're cooking something. And so when you go to shake the pepper, if you crack the pepper too late, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
If you
And
crack
you have
it
to start the whole thing over
Yes.
again.
If you crack it too early, you're fine. It'll just say too early. But if you crack it too late, oh no, you're done.
What the cream cheese? What is
So
that
you have to
supposed
go
mean?
through an entire cutscene, an entire CGI cutscene just to replay, actually just to finish, because it'll tell you failed, and then instead of immediately cutting out and allowing you to try again, it will make you get out, and you have to enter into the menu and try it again, and it'll play the whole cutscene for the start, and then you got to go again.
And that is if you have the ingredients, because like the whole game, you're going around and you're collecting ingredients in order to make the
Make-
items on this menu.
yes. And the thing is that with every failure, you'll lose an item.
Yeah.
So not only do you waste an item if you make it, you waste an item if you fail to make it.
Is this for kids now?
Yeah. I mean, you'd think, but there's a lot of weirdness.
Okay.
And we haven't even gotten into the story side of it.
Yeah,
Gosh.
I heard about that.
It's a little complicated.
Just gonna
It doesn't get any less complicated with this new game. So
Yeah, the story is just as convoluted throughout. It gave me a headache.
and
when
then
I
there's a
would-
twist at the end too.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So like there what do you know about the whole like storyline?
I haven't looked up any videos on the ending storyline. I was planning to here pretty soon, but I
But
spaced.
do you know about like the games like Kingdom Hearts Key or X or
The X blade,
yeah.
the key blade, which
The-
is
which
actually
is
the
an
Greek symbol
X.
for key,
yeah.
which is an X, but it's
So there's
so it's not a
keyblades,
keyblade
and then there's
like turning
the
a key,
keyblade.
but like a key is in like a runic symbol key.
Yeah.
Okay, this is why I hate the English language. Because it could be several different things.
Yes.
And it's not even English.
But you know, like about the foretellers and so the basic thing
Yes.
is like the ancient world or whatever. And there was a master of masters and he had these apprentices and they were like supposed to guard the light or something. And then they all like, he made all these prophecies because he took like an eye and he put it in a keyblade, like a seen eye thing.
Mhm.
And then he handed that keyblade down to his apprentice, who then would hand it down to their apprentice. And so through that eye, he could see all the events that would unfold throughout history.
Yeah, where that keyblade was involved.
Right.
Hmm.
So, so that has kind of set everything up. And so he had like 5 apprentices. One of them was Lushu. I might have these numbers wrong, but Lushu, he sent out with this mysterious box and nobody knows what's in the mysterious box.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to like Kingdom Hearts 2, where you meet the Organization 13, and one of them is Zigbar, who you find out is like his name is also Brag, because if you become a nobody.
Let's not
you
get
a
into that
different
one
Yeah,
just yet.
yeah. Anyway, so the big reveal at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 is that Lushu, who was charged with guarding this mysterious box, is Zigbar.
Huh.
Zigbar is Lushu. And so like there's this big reveal. He takes off his hood and it's him, and I'm like, no way. Like
Yeah.
was that planned or did they just throw
Or they
that
just
in there?
throw that in there.
I don't know.
You can never tell with the Kingdom Hearts if
You
they
just don't know.
if they just threw it in because they thought it'd be a cool twist, or if it was planned from the very
You know,
beginning.
there is an entire game that exists because Nomura was drunk at like 1:00 in the morning and came up with this idea
I'm
for
sorry,
Kingdom
what?
Hearts Coded.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after knowing that, that makes sense, right?
Oh, yes.
So part of the story is based off someone who is drunk.
No, like he got the idea for it when he was drunk.
And he wrote it all down, and then he
So part
made
of
it
like,
again.
hey, this is cool.
So part of the story is partly drunk.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I love it already.
Oh yeah.
it's kind of the black sheep of the series
Yeah.
because it's all about going inside a computer
Oh.
Yeah, there's like a computer version of Sora, the main character.
Oh.
that was based off of a diary that Jiminy Cricket had made
Right, they
of their
digitized that.
adventure. So they digitized that because there were issues in the diary. They
Because
were
of
like,
Nominee.
because of Nominee, which is
So
Let's back it up. Who's nominated now?
okay.
if I'm gonna go through the entire like timeline of Kingdom Hearts, we are gonna
get
be here for 7
nowhere.
hours.
Yeah.
We will be here for 7 hours. We will be.
So
But just take, for instance, Nominee was a character in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
yes, Chain of Memories.
Who is connected to Sora via the fact that she is Sora's
no,
nobody?
she is Kyrie's nobody.
She's Kyrie's nobody, created through Sora, so she has connection to Sora.
But I think she just has a connection to Sora because Sora and Kyrie's hearts are connected, and Kyrie's heart was inside Sora for a while. Sora has
I
carried many people's
see.
hearts inside of his own.
He has like 2 in this game.
So he has Kyrie's heart, Roxas's heart, because Roxas has developed a heart somehow. So he's had Kyrie, Roxas, Ventus, and I think Shion as well.
I don't remember Shion's, but I knew that at the very least
but
at one
Shion's
point
in
he had 3 hearts
Yeah, he's
inside
had
of him.
4.
He's had 4 in at one
Yeah,
point.
he's
Oh,
very he's like, hey, does your heart need somewhere to go? It could come it could be inside of my heart. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
for,
see
for visual preference, I'm literally doing the Italian thing with the hands going like, "What the heck am I listening to?"
the deep confusion on your face. It's a lot.
It is very a lot.
Yeah.
So let's continue on. So let's go deeper in the madhouse.
Go deeper into the madhouse.
It's the madhouse that is Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, sometimes I think if I knew then what I knew now, like how complicated everything would get. Would I
Yeah.
have been as into Kingdom Hearts at the time? Yeah, I would.
You would have. You would have.
The other thing that I was really disappointed about in Kingdom Hearts 3 is that there were no Final Fantasy characters. None.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because the whole thing originally started as like I guess some
Mixture of Disney,
Yeah, it
Final
was
Fantasy,
Disney and Final Fantasy characters. Like there was this crossover that was actually going to happen, and when they like announced it, everybody was like, "That's not real," but it was. I guess like Disney execs and like Square execs met in an elevator and were like, "Hey, we should
because
do this."
Disney.
Yeah."
Because this.
I think originally they wanted to make a Mickey Mouse game,
They did.
but then it ended up being like the first Kingdom Hearts 1. Mickey wasn't even in it. Like they showed him for like half a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he without his shirt.
Without a shirt. And didn't they I saw something that said they actually went into one of the prequel games
Yes.
and put in there why he was shirtless. Like
Yeah.
they gave an excuse for why he was shirtless in the first game
Yeah.
for continuity purposes.
For continuity purposes, there was a game where he was in the realm of hearts.
The
or
realm of darkness.
realm of darkness.
I think that's just
whatever
what
it
it's
is. He was in there and he had a shirt on.
like
and his
Mickey
shorts,
should be.
Like
Yeah.
Mickey should
Yeah.
be. And he was exploring around with Aqua.
Yeah, it would have been Aqua.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Aqua and him fight this giant shadow beast made of a bunch of Heartless.
Okay.
And so it attacks them. It takes Aqua to get her out of the picture. And in the process of attacking Mickey, Mickey loses his shirt. And the only reason that he loses his shirt is so that when he shows up, because this is a prequel game, when he shows up at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, he didn't have a shirt because they had not decided to give him the same kind of clothing that Sora had, which was a bunch of... Which one was it in the first game? Zippers or belts?
Both.
Both? Okay.
Both.
Yeah, I remember both.
Yeah.
Yes. Still had big shoes though.
Yeah.
But I mean,
That's a very classic
shoes.
Nomura style.
Yeah. I mean, the style, don't get me wrong, the designs and stuff, spot on. I love the designs.
Yeah, it's great. It's
yeah.
beautiful. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 is gorgeous. Like it looks like you are playing through a Pixar movie. Like it looks good.
Yep. But some of the movies are done better than others.
The
Yeah.
Toy Story world was so good.
The Toy Story world was tight because it was very much like almost a alternate universe kind of Toy Story, or a after the fact of everything had happened,
Yeah.
or in between movies kind of thing. You don't know where in the Toy Story timeline you land, but it was not a specific movie.
Yeah, you weren't just playing through the movie.
You weren't just playing through the movie.
Okay, that's pretty nice.
It had its own storyline, and it matched up with like what
Was-
Sora was going
yeah,
through.
what was going on in the story, which that was a very good world. Buzz's character
so good.
development throughout,
Oh man.
fantastic. Prime.
All right, so Toy Story and Kingdom Hearts 3. Good. A+.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, sadly, they probably ran out of time or were unable to get the voice actors for certain movies because Frozen, you are literally playing through
The
Frozen.
the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
you
the
have-
entire sequence of Let It Go is in the game.
you have no impact on the story at all.
You're just there.
You're just there. And it's one of those impact on the stories in that you're there and you're interacting with the characters, but everything somehow continuity wise comes back to the same points that happens beat for beat along the story.
Yeah.
It's a poorly written fan fiction.
Yeah.
I can't get behind that one, yeah.
Yes. The same is done for
Tangled.
yeah.
Dangle was in
Oh.
there?
Tangled's in there.
I know Ratatouille's in there.
Yeah, and that's the cooking game.
That's the cooking game.
Yeah, I figured that was the cooking game.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
There's
Monsters, Inc., maybe?
yeah, Monsters Inc. is
Monsters Inc. was good.
it was yeah, there was just it got really repetitive in that it was like you get stuck in a room and you can't get out of the room and you have to fight the same like
Yep.
heartless
Hmm.
over and over, and they're all big, and it just takes a while, and it's not even like it's hard. It just
Tedious.
it takes a long time, and
Yep.
you are not gonna die in Kingdom Hearts 3, even on like hard mode. Critical mode, again, I haven't played it yet, but you're not gonna die unless you really try.
Press X to win.
Kind of, it gets like that sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a kid game, so I can kind of understand. But
Yeah.
then there's not really much of a challenge in it if that's how it goes.
Yeah.
No, and the impact of the super attacks that you have kind of lose power in how easily and how quickly you get them.
Yeah,
So like a little green target will come up around a enemy, and if you beeline for that enemy and hit it before the timer runs out, you get a super attack or
Right.
whatever. And so it's this big, huge, long cutscene, and then you have like one is a pirate ship that's just swinging back and
I
forth,
have seen that
and you
one.
that was
shoot.
cool though.
Yes,
Except that
you
it-
see it.
it happened all the time. I thought it was only going to be something that happened every once in a while, like in big boss fights or whatever. But I
Nope.
mean, you're just fighting one heartless, and you could use the big ship thingy,
Yep.
and it
Hmm.
takes a long time.
Yep, and it's a use it or lose it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is if you don't use it, yeah, it's gone.
Although what I loved about that specific move is that when I was fighting Davy Jones, the way I beat him
Oh
is
yeah,
that
my
he
Pirates
was
of the Caribbean's in
basically
there.
he was basically bouncing back and forth from like the front of that ship to the back. And like that's how I defeated Davy Jones is that he was like ugh, and it was just the most ridiculous thing ever because it's this giant Disney ride
Yeah.
that he's bouncing back and forth from, and like the stylization of like how Pirates of the Caribbean looks versus how like the cartoony
Mhm.
stuff looks, it's much better than it was in Kingdom Hearts 2, but there's still a huge difference.
Oof.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And for me, it was the up and down water slide.
That got old.
Oh, that got very old.
I didn't even see the point about it. I didn't feel like it helped me. That was just a thing.
It kind of does because essentially you kill the enemies along the way when you're on the water,
Yeah.
and then you go back through the water and pick up all the items. And then there's a final explosion. But the
Yeah.
thing is you just like
It gets old.
keep circling around and it happens. That is the one that I'd gotten the most between that one and the shooter game. But the shooter game is actually interesting a little bit because if you can juggle enemies, you get more points. I don't know what it does for you, but it at least does something.
Yeah.
So you can juggle enemies to get more points. But the
It also helps you not take as much
Splash
damage.
Mountain,
Yeah, the
yes,
Splash
it's
Mountain's
named
great.
after the ride.
So
Yes,
so
they are,
basically,
you're fighting people with Disney rides.
okay, so that's what all you're basically doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
I ha-
using
you
Disney
have the-
rides to fight.
You have the power of the Disney theme park, and you're gonna go kick everybody's butt.
Yeah.
With park rides.
Right.
Yep.
But once again, like we had to put in all these Disney references and full Disney movies, but we couldn't put in Final Fantasy
A
characters.
single Final Fantasy character.
And I guess Nomura said that there's enough original characters in the Kingdom Hearts universe now that he doesn't need the Final Fantasy characters, but that's the reason that we were playing, you know? That's the reason why people got into Kingdom Hearts is because of the Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters and just it being
Well, the
so
thing
weird
is-
that they're in the same universe.
Yeah, and you put in one or two of your Final Fantasy characters from like your newer games, and people
Yeah.
are more likely to go, "Hey, that character was kind of interesting. Let's go play that game."
Yeah, and not even the old Final Fantasy characters that you met in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. So
Yeah.
like Cloud and Sephiroth. Like in the other Kingdom Hearts games you could fight Sephiroth.
Yep.
Hmm.
And this one,
Nope. He's not even mentioned. It's
yeah,
really
it-
sad.
it's sad.
Hmm.
Yeah. They did a lot of questionable choices with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Probably-
Overall, a good end to a trilogy.
Probably for legal reasons.
But the thing is, like, it's not the end.
Yeah, it's
I
not
thought
the
it was gonna
end.
close everything out, and the way it ended was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, leaving it all.
Sora's not happy.
Yeah.
Sora's might be dead. We don't know.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, yeah. You don't know this, do
Oof.
you? Sorry.
No, it's okay. Spoilers are perfectly fine for me.
Yeah. So it's just like, and then the secret ending where they're in a place that looks like, I don't know, just Japan.
Just Japan.
Yeah,
Just Japan.
literally, that's what it looks
Oh.
like.
San Francisco?
No,
No, it's not San Francisco.
no,
They
it looks like
actually
the
have-
real world.
Oh,
There's like a
gosh.
moon, but it's not heart shaped. But there's a character that makes this, like, uses its hands to make the moon look heart shaped through its hands. But we don't know who that is. They're just Sora and Riku kind of walking through the streets of Tokyo, I guess. I don't
Awesome.
know. I don't know what that secret ending means or why it's there.
That's
So it is not the official end.
It's a secret ending.
It's a secret ending.
The one that you can unlock if you get if you beat all the mini games and you get all the keyblades and you do all the
So is the secret ending canon or is it non-canon?
typically secret endings are canon. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't
It's,
too sure.
It's not like the Marvel universe where they have a
Yeah.
secret ending that hits something and then that secret ending actually doesn't mean that much.
Turns out it's a cat just puking up a Tesseract. Yeah. Captain Marvel spoilers, baby.
See, I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen Captain Marvel.
I want to.
It's not really a big deal, honestly. That spoiler right there. It's not that bad.
I saw in game and I didn't need to see Captain Marvel. As long as you know that Captain Marvel is a thing, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just knowing that Captain Marvel is a thing, you're
But I do want to see the
golden.
movie. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's a lot better than what people are giving it credit for, but we're going off track.
Yeah.
Let's reel it on back and
Yep.
have a good time. Sorry, I was in a gig. Shut up.
That was a great little dance there.
You got good juju.
Oh, I loved that.
Ah.
All right. So, one question.
Okay.
Where would you like to see the series go from here on out?
Well, like the biggest thing is I'd like to see more Final Fantasy characters. I'd like to see it come back to like what it was in that we're uniting these Disney franchises and Final Fantasy into something that's just fun, you know?
Mhm.
And that's what I liked about Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 is it was fun. And as far as like I want less mini games. I would love that.
Yep.
You know, the thing is like you're making a game that is targeted at kids, you feel like you have to put mini games in it, but
I don't
I don't
inherently
think you
think
need
so.
to.
And this might be a personal preference. A lot of people now in entertainment give kids less credit than they should.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
I think that putting them in maybe teenager, somewhat adult situations is actually good for their development because that stretches their brain. That makes them think harder. If they get
Yeah.
stuck, they get stuck. And that's just something that they stick on. But that's something that they can then come back to the game later in time and go, oh, I remember doing this. This was really hard. But now that I've grown up, this is surprisingly easy. Like, how did I have trouble with this?
Yeah.
But that gives them that feeling of development and pushing their brain. Now, it's a hard balance to strike, but I still feel like giving them the benefit of the doubt on their intelligence. And even if they have to like ask friends or ask their parents for help, I still feel like that's a good learning experience for these kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like Kingdom Hearts 1, while it was targeted at kids, I felt like it was like older kids. Because I was, oh gosh, when was it that Kingdom Hearts 1 came out?
That's a good question.
I was, oh gosh, how old was I? I think I was in middle school. I want to say.
Let's
Does that show
go.
how old I am?
Hmm.
But like if it had like that, like it was all mini games, I would not have gotten into it. Like I got into it because I loved the story and I loved playing through a story that really captivated me. And that's kind of what I would like you said, like it to go to is a story that is captivating, but isn't like super complex.
Yeah, it doesn't hold like.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of like what they did with God of War. Like it used to have like a few mini games in there, but like the newest God of War, it has a very impactful story. It has a few mini games in there,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it has adapted over time to be a genuine good father and son story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That honestly is kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah, and a franchise should probably grow with their audience, you know?
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
100% for that.
Like
Time to talk How to Train Your Dragon.
Don't tell me third one because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Did you
Oh.
like it?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh,
But-
I did too. That grew with your audience.
Yes.
It's a perfect
it
example.
Very much grew with your audience. It wasn't my favorite. Sorry, quick tangent because How to Train Your Dragon came up. The third one's not the best of the series, but I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
As well as it was the perfect send off, had a strong central theme, and looking back in hindsight and watching a whole bunch of videos on its storytelling and understanding how its themes played out throughout the entire movie. Oh, it is a beautiful masterpiece from beginning to
It
end.
really is.
And so, as far as an end of a trilogy goes, beautifully played from beginning to end. And I mean,
And the way that it also like those themes that were in the first one kind of it brought it echoed back to that, but in a more like it grew with its audience. It was similar themes, but for like the older age that those characters
Yes.
are.
So it was essentially between the 3 movies, it was a story of Hiccup growing up.
Mm-hmm.
He had his different stages of growing up. And so his final stage of growing up was kind of...
Don't spoil it.
That's hard to do.
What it
because-
was if you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
You have to see the movie because of particularly the lessons gained through the 3rd movie.
But if,
The lessons gained through the 2nd movie, which you have seen,
Yes.
was big on finally coming into your own,
Mhm.
finding your own path, even through difficult times, and cementing yourself of who you are
Mm-hmm.
in society, and taking up the responsibility mantle that is given upon you, whether it's just in your small time job or in a larger influencer setting.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really grew with the kids, specifically because that was my
your age group.
age group. Because I started the first movie, give or take, about where Hiccup was. And then, so Hiccup was like 16 or something in the first movie, maybe younger, maybe older. But they're like 21 in the 2nd movie. So there's a 5-year jump there, but there is a 4-year jump in real time. And so that movie grew the characters, and the characters acted their age. They did not act as they had in the previous movie. And so for each consecutive jump, they grew with their audience. They really pushed the idea of what it meant to become an adult, because it was very much advocated for teens going into adulthood and then reaching adulthood and understanding a lesson throughout each movie.
And that's something similar that you're wanting to see. In.
Yeah, I feel like Kingdom Hearts didn't do that. I felt like the only character that grew from Kingdom Hearts 1 was Riku. I thought he had a good character arc in that where he was in Kingdom Hearts 1
all the way through to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3, he's learned a lot and he's developed. I think Sora he's learned some things and he's got some strength, but he didn't have
the emotional character development
that Riku did. And Kairi is basically a mannequin.
I've always seen something bad stuff about Kairi.
She is a plank. You could replace her with a plank with a face on it,
right?
And it would have about the same amount of impact.
I thought they had opportunity in Kingdom Hearts 3 to make her cool. They did. There were some things that could have been cool with her, but they didn't explore her at all. They
dropped the ball.
They dropped the ball. Exactly. Axel had a really good character arc. I thought, especially like once you get to the end of it.
Yep. Which
he has a really good moment.
Good moment.
Yeah, he has a good moment. There's a great moment. I actually cried in this game, guys. Between him and Roxas and Xion. They're like I cried because
feels.
Yeah. I
Big
was like
feels.
I
get you.
That was a good moment.
But, I mean, if it has a development, blah blah blah. If it has a development to where it can make you cry, it's doing something.
Right.
Yep.
It's doing something.
And I actually enjoy Sora as a character. A lot of people don't like Sora. I enjoy him because we have like the same personality type. So it took the first game I didn't like him. In the second game I did though. It's hard explaining why I like Sora because the reasons why I like Sora are the reasons why everybody hates Sora.
Does he kind of have Naruto syndrome?
Yes, and I've found bringing that up.
Oh no!
I've
Wait,
found
what did
actually
you
a
say?
good descriptor. Okay, Naruto syndrome.
Oh, I like Sora better than Naruto.
Well, yes, but Naruto syndrome is a thing used to describe characters that have the they're not the brightest of characters, but they
Oh.
bumble their way through problems that are beyond their mental capacity.
Interesting.
And essentially bang their head into a problem until they solve it.
Okay.
The term that I found that was interesting, crouching moron, hidden badass.
Hey, I like it.
So,
Crouching moron, hidden badass.
It's a character that is very comedic when they're not in battle. And then when it
Yeah.
comes to battle, they are a badass.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I see that.
There's a very careful balance that your humor does not become so dumb that they're tired of the humor and just want to get to the action. You want to strike a very careful. So take Sokka, for instance. Sokka from Avatar:
Yes.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much crouching moron, hidden badass. He was the comedic relief in Team
I don't
Avatar.
think he got to be a badass until like
Oh, he didn't
later.
get
Like
till
till like the last season.
like the last half of the last season.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
He always had a little bit of
He had
decency
potential,
to him. He had potential.
but
and-
he never really like
Yes.
reached that potential.
But the
until
thing is
later.
that
Mhm.
that final potential reaching end to his character arc
was cool.
was cool.
Mhm.
He was crouching moron until he became
The badass.
the badass. Crouching moron, hidden badass.
So you
So
feel
that-
like that's what Sora is?
I feel like that's what Sora is.
I could see that, but at the same time, sorry, let me defend my son here.
It's all good.
Okay.
We all have our
Um,
discussions.
Sora has a depth of emotional intelligence from the beginning of the series that Riku doesn't have. Sora has a very strong sense of right and wrong, of light and dark, which is a big theme of the entire series, which is not something that Riku has. And in their friendship, Riku sees in Sora like that right versus wrong and all that stuff. And Sora is a light to Riku, as well as Mickey and all of Riku's other friends. I really think Riku is kind of the main character. But at the same time, I love Sora. Like I said, he has an emotional intelligence there that he's able to form friendships and connections with people like immediately.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like he is the main character, like because he has that ability to create those connections. And he just goes with it. Like apparently he wasn't supposed to get the Keyblade, like it was supposed to go to Riku, but Riku
Keyblade.
gave into darkness. And so like Sora was there, and so he had the Keyblade and he had to do the best that he could do, and he did it. He saved the worlds. I'm just saying, he did succeed.
Yes. He did bumble his way through.
As I talk about
to
these
his
characters
success.
as if they are real people.
Well,
That's-
I mean, your perspective is influential to the point where this is how you see Sora.
Yeah.
So that's what Sora is in your eyes, and you can't complain about it.
Yeah.
Yep. It makes perfect sense to me. I mean, I have my issues with the crouching moron, hidden badass
Is
archetype.
it because you are a crouching moron?
Probably. That's probably what it is I see a lot of the awkward stupidity that comes about, and it makes me want to bang my head into a table.
Oh, like when you're watching The Office and somebody does something really cringy and you just have to turn it off.
Yes.
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 I'll
Very
find
much.
that out later.
Yeah. Just basically, I cannot handle cringe. It
Yeah.
just doesn't work for me. As soon as something cringy comes on, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
look away. Can't handle it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a problem with my own inherent awkwardness. And so me seeing someone else being awkward kind of makes me go, I relate
can't
to
be
that,
here.
but I also, I know what you can do better.
No, like I totally get that. I have that same. I don't know if it's like empathic or what it is, but it's just like you're
think
like,
it-
oh,
yeah.
honey.
It's also related, I know, to my deep sense of empathy.
Yeah.
I have a very big heart. And so when I see a character on the screen doing something incredibly stupid, it makes me go, Oh, please
Stop.
don't. I know how this is going to end. Please don't. Don't stop. No. There it is.
Oh, he died.
There it is. Oh, there it is.
And it happens in real life too. Okay, so when I went and saw Endgame in the theater,
Don't do this.
I
I
know.
haven't seen it yet.
I'm not talking
This
about
is
the
not-
movie. I'm talking about what happened in the theater.
Okay.
Okay, and Ace knows this. I told him about
Oh.
this, but I am not kidding you. um, for the entire, even at the beginning, but definitely like the entire second half of the movie, there was a girl up in, like, I was up in the second row of the theater. She was up in the back, and she was sobbing uncontrollably, not just sobbing, wailing, like like super loud. And like I was cringing so bad. I couldn't even enjoy the movie because we were all laughing. Like the first 3 rows, one of us would go like, and then the rest
Just
of
the
us,
rest
it would
of
just
us.
set everybody else up, and we're all just like,
Oh.
and yes, I mean, everybody knows that there's going to be scenes in this movie that are emotional. So like, I couldn't even enjoy the moment and the acting that they had in the moment because this lady was hysterical.
hysterical.
I'm like, I wanted to yell, "Are you okay? Somebody give her a hug, please." I felt so bad. I was like, I was cringing. I was
Yep.
like, I don't know what to do.
Well-
I want to leave.
I had sort of a same experience is that I came out of the theater, and after you come out of a movie that long, what's the first thing you have to do? You got to pee.
You got me. Yeah.
So made a beeline out into the lobby.
You made
and
a
then
beeline? What?
A beeline.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did not trail a trail of pee.
Nope,
to
it's
the-
too late. So, someone's animating it right now.
No, I made a beeline out to the lobby and then swung back into the bathroom. And when I swang back into
You
the
swang?
bathroom, swang. Thank you.
I'll let you talk without making fun of you.
That would be appreciated. Thank you. My English no good. Deal with it. Standing by the bathroom was a girl, just tears rolling down her face. And I don't know if she came out of Endgame or another movie. I'm just assuming Endgame.
I'm assuming Endgame.
But she was just losing it emotionally, just tears rolling down. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go pee now.
And I mean, I get it. It's emotional. These are characters that you love, like in Kingdom Hearts. I cried during certain scenes because, like, you, especially if you're empathic and you really think about like the story that's been told.
Yep.
You can connect with it. You can cry, but like disturbing the entire theater by wailing, or what you saw.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
that's
Like,
it's hard.
yes, and for me, whenever I've cried in movies, I generally try and keep it contained because I know,
Right.
like, I don't want to ruin the experience for someone beside me by like
Right.
bringing it onto myself, because we're all there to watch the movie and really get into the story.
Right.
And so I want to internalize this feeling, understand why I'm feeling this feeling, and really start to think about what's going on in those empathetic moments.
Right.
And so to me, someone just outright wailing is someone losing control of that sense of
Right. Like,
internalization. So you're losing yourself in the moment instead of truly appreciating the moment for what it is.
right.
And through wailing, your eyes cloud up and you lose yourself in the sadness of the moment instead of really paying attention to the beauty that's happening
Exactly.
in front of you. And to me, you really want to work on internalizing that because you really want to think about that sadness, about what's going on, and really then appreciate the beauty of the moment that has caused you to come to tears. You've followed a character this far, and so then this is the emotional payoff. This is where you sit.
Yeah. And to continue going on to this tangent, I direct theater plays, and there was one that we were doing, and there was this really emotional scene going off of what you were saying. And like there's this scene where they're reading letters from people who have lost loved ones to cancer. And so
Oh,
all
is that-
my actors were
Oof.
up on stage trying to say their lines and just like
Tears.
bawling, crying so hard because they were all thinking about somebody that they lost.
Yep.
And like I've lost somebody, and not
Yep.
to cancer, but to like it is hard, and I get that. So I had to tell them, you know, it's your audience is not going to be affected by you bawling on stage, like by
Nope.
your crying. You need to read this inspirationally so
Yes.
they can think about it and they can be emotionally impacted.
You need to disconnect yourself from your own emotions.
Right.
And
This
truly
is why I hate method acting. Sorry. We're getting into
Yes.
acting theory right now, but
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
But even just getting into character theory is that an emotional scene has to happen where the character themselves, whether in acting or in mocap acting,
Yeah.
is that the character has to maintain their sense of not only that the character they're playing, but also a specific disconnect, which is why I also hate method acting,
Yeah.
is that a certain disconnect needs to be there for a proper performance to be given, I feel.
Exactly.
Because if you are in the character, then you will make an inherent mistake of the character rather than being disconnected and doing exactly what the character needs to do, not what the character would do for the plot or for even the audience, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And it also, like, if you're playing a character who's a psychopath and you're on set acting like a psychopath, like, that hurts the entire show.
Yeah. That creates a toxic atmosphere for the other actors that you're playing with. And yes, that might create certain byplays when you're on screen, but
It doesn't work.
It-
You can tell when actors
Yes.
do not like each other
oh yeah,
and
you
don't
can.
trust each other. Trust is such a huge part of it.
And
It's like any team
Endgame is a
sport.
good example.
And what?
Endgame is a good example.
Yeah.
Because Brie Larson was brought in and filmed her scenes as Captain Marvel without even having seen the script for Captain Marvel the movie.
Wow.
Wait,
Yeah,
really?
She was brought in without even having seen the script for Captain Marvel the movie.
Okay, that's
She
irresponsible.
filmed her scenes in Endgame without even before knowing.
Wow.
Yes. And so there was no
Interesting.
trust there. There was nothing there for the characters. And even her own movie, because it was set in like 19 something.
Blockbuster years.
Yes.
90s.
Thank you.
The
Did-
90s.
Did not have the characters from Endgame in it. So there was no connection there. I think the only one that's ever worked with her was like
Chris Evans. Wait, they were in the same movie, but they were not on scene together.
Yep. And then I think Ruffalo also did a movie with her, but he didn't know it.
Yeah.
The thing is he didn't know that they were in the same movie.
Oh, that's funny.
So he was not aware that this was that they had that connection. So there was no trust built there.
Do you think that maybe that worked a little bit though, because the characters didn't know her and so wouldn't trust her?
The problem is that there's one scene that they use as a way to connect her and say, we are bringing you into the fold.
Okay.
And to me, it felt forced because I felt like there should be that distrust there.
Yeah.
She suddenly shows up and you're like,
they just trust her.
and they just trust her. And then 5 years later, she's a part of the team. You don't see any of that growth. You don't see any of that.
Spoilers.
You knew she was going to be in the movie.
Boy.
Sorry. But there's no connection there. You didn't see any growth. You didn't see anything. The actors themselves have no connection to this person. And in fact, if you look at the interviews from the press
They don't get
tour.
along with her as much.
Okay, so
Oh.
All right. Get your tangent, then we gotta get back in Kingdom
Yes.
Hearts. Okay.
So there was a point where there was an interview between with her and the guy who plays Hawkeye,
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
Yep. That's
Jeremy
what I'm
Renner-
for.
So
Oh, sexy
she's
man.
sitting here.
yeah.
Jeremy Renner.
Oh man,
is
his
sitting
look in this
here.
movie though.
She's sitting to his left,
Uh-huh.
and he is sitting.
I would not have put those two together in an interview.
The thing is that his body language, his shoulders are squared to the right,
Oh,
away from her,
That's telling.
and he's sitting like this.
Yeah.
He's sitting where his entire body is facing 45 degrees away from her. And almost he makes eye contact forward to the interviewer or off into the distance. He does not look like he wants to be there.
Interesting.
And then when she kind of gives him a go ahead to she answered her part of the question and then pass it on, she looks at him and nods, and he keeps direct focus with the interviewer.
The thing about Jeremy Renner though is he has a resting bitch face. I
He
mean,
does.
really bad.
He-
And he's like that with several other actors. Like when you watch him in interviews, he always looks like he is grumpy.
Okay.
He always looks like he's grumpy.
But the sexy grumpy.
I have a
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You
he
are
is,
really into Jeremy Renner.
Listen. He's a good-looking guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a good-looking guy.
I can admit that. No homo.
I
can
love
admit
that
that.
out of all of the Avengers, attractive men on the Avengers, you guys are like Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
No. We don't want Stark. We don't want Captain America. No, we want Hawkeye.
You know who I found Thor very attractive in this movie.
I know why.
I'll find out later.
Yeah, he knows my husband.
I know her husband, so
Okay. All right. So we
All right,
had.
so
Anyway,
Kingdom Hearts.
sorry.
So talking about character development, you know who else I thought had really good character development? Goofy.
Goofy.
Goofy is the total dad friend. Like there was this trust between him and Sora and Donald, and he was always like, "Hey guys, let's maybe not argue. Let's go do this instead." And
Yep.
there was this huge amount of trust. Like Goofy's kind of helping lead them, you know?
Yeah.
He is a dad figure, though.
He is. They totally pulled that into his character in this movie. Is that he's the dad of the group?
That's fantastic.
Even though I
I-
heard rumors somewhere else that something happened, but I'm gonna
What?
talk. I'm gonna talk about that after this.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
I won't talk about it.
Anyway,
Goofy is the dad character.
yes, Goofy is the dad character. Donald falls into the rival /
Uncle.
no, I would
Um,
say brother character. I would say he kind of falls into a younger brother to Sora.
That is really weird to
maybe
think
older.
about.
Older. They're still authority figures.
Yeah,
I could see the uncle, the weird uncle.
Army uncle.
I
I'd
could
say.
see the uncle, I guess.
Yeah. Have you heard of the vodka aunt?
No.
So
Wait,
there's the
maybe.
wine mom, the vodka aunt. I feel
Oh,
like
I
he's
was-
like the vodka uncle.
The vodka uncle.
I was thinking of an actual aunt drinking Smirnoff.
like a
like an insect.
like an insect. Yeah.
And he's-
like Ant-Man,
the
like
thing
the
is-
giant ant just
yes.
drinking Smirnoff.
Yeah.
Well, and then, sorry, bringing it back to Marvel, you got Ant-Man sitting with an ant, and they both have bottles of Smirnoff.
Yes.
Vodka aunt. Perfect. That's
Okay.
exactly what you do.
Coming back,
Right.
coming
Yes.
back.
So
coming
Donald
back.
is the vodka uncle.
I see it.
I could, or the tequila uncle.
The tequila uncle.
Yeah, that's exactly
Tequila
what.
makes you go crazy.
Okay, continue.
He's making margaritas,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
And he gets really grumpy when he's drunk.
It's Donald.
Donald's always grumpy.
Donald's
Yeah,
always.
I
Agreed.
do appreciate Donald, but he's the uncle, the uncle who always makes fun of you or tries to argue with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely an
for
uncle.
me though, that's my father-in-law. He just argues with you just to argue with you.
Yeah, because he wants to argue.
Right.
Not in a harsh way, like he's constantly trying to attack you, but he just
Yeah.
likes to argue.
He just likes to get your goat. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what Donald is.
I can see
And then
it.
there's Mickey, who
I don't know.
what would Mickey's relationship be? He's I don't know.
Grandfatherly.
Yeah, he really is. He's he's the person that you really look up to.
He's distant, but
He's your role
full
model.
of a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
Amazingly enough. But of
Yeah.
course, this is Disney properties, and so therefore Mickey will be
Right. He's the king.
He's the
He is the king.
working on his infinity gauntlet of various companies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Have you not seen that meme?
I did. Yeah.
Yes.
And they have Fox now.
They do have 20th Century Fox.
You know what that
So-
means? X-Men and Kingdom Hearts. you
I would-
laugh now.
I would have loved an
I-
Avengers world in Kingdom Hearts, but no.
I
had
think
to
that'd
have-
be way too big for Kingdom Hearts.
Do you think? Well, I mean, they did Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, also, can I talk about the Pirates of the Caribbean world in Kingdom Hearts 3? You haven't got there yet.
No.
It's
So-
awful.
It's awful? Oh, gosh.
This is the world that I stayed up till 4:00 in the morning to beat. I haven't done that since high school.
Mm.
I know that makes me old. I feel like the old lady here. But there's ship battles, but not well done ship battles. Like first you have to race the ship, and it's like really hard to do. And
So we're not talking like Assassin's Creed 4 ship battles.
I was thinking of the
We're
same thing.
talking like, have you ever played Assassin's Creed 4?
I have not.
Okay. So
But I heard they're good, right?
yeah, the battles are
They're
very
good.
freeform as you come up on a ship and then turn port side, fire your cannons.
This isn't like that. There's like heartless ships, and they have weird blobbies on the side. And I'm still not sure if you're supposed to be hitting the weird blobbies or just hitting the ship in general, because neither of them, like I tried just hitting the ship in general, that didn't do a lot. I tried just hitting the weird blobbies, that didn't help a lot. You kind of have to do both.
Oof.
Weird blobbies, like a massive green or purple on the side of the ship.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're shooting back, and then I don't know. It was rough, that whole world, and the world just kept going and going and going.
Oof.
And it's set in Pirates of the Caribbean.
What number?
The one with I think it's 3. Yeah,
World's End.
at World's End. Because like at one point you have to collect all these crab. You have to collect like 100 white crabs.
Mm?
Yeah.
It's a collectathon.
Yeah, and you have to like go to all these different areas in Port Royal and collect the crabs in order to, for some reason, getting the crabs upgrades your ship.
You're not making me want to finish this game.
I'm sorry. I mean, it is rough to get through the Pirates of the Caribbean world, but it's worth it for like afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know. Like the whole ending battles are repetitive, but yeah. So the Pirates of the Caribbean world, it just kept going. You kept thinking you were at the end, and it wasn't even broken up. Like in Kingdom Hearts 2, you played through the worlds. You basically defeated all the Heartless in the world and like locked the keyhole of the world. And then later you come back to the world and you fight all the nobodies. So there were like 2 stages to each world in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nope.
Just you just beat one world at a time.
Mm.
It was one world after the other after the other.
It got old.
Yeah, it's not really good game design. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It has a few problems. Well, like you can upgrade your gummy ship and create your gummy ship.
I've never done that in any of the games.
Some people don't do it. I did it in this one just because I wanted to increase my speed as much as I could so I could get to the planet quicker. I wanted it to be done.
I know, and that's the other one that my husband plays the gummy ship parts because I've hated the gummy ship since Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yep. So when it gets like halfway through the game and you can actually quick travel between areas.
That's the best.
Yep. Until you actually have to use the gummy sections to get to the next world, and you're just
Yeah, and you hate it.
annoyed.
Okay.
In Kingdom Hearts 1, though, there are some parts where I just let it fly to the world because if you just put it in the middle of the screen,
You're fine.
you're fine.
Yep.
It won't kill you. It'll just keep flying until it gets to the planet.
Yep.
So there's
Okay.
really no reason to fight all of the
Nope.
to
It-
do anything really,
And it has no story impact at all. It
unless you
is-
want the secret ending. I think you have to have all of the gummy ship stuff, or you could just wait and look it up on YouTube.
done.
Yeah, nowadays we have YouTube and all that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. When you were a kid, you had to, but now, in the world of YouTube,
Yeah,
such things are
possible.
possible, and so you don't have to go through
Yeah,
that
like-
collectathon.
Yeah, like spoiling Endgame for me. God.
We didn't spoil it.
No,
that
YouTube
bad.
almost did.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, stay away from YouTube until you see the movie.
When are you seeing the movie?
Yeah, when are you seeing the movie? Go watch it. What are you doing here? Go watch it now.
Okay, fine.
And then come back, and then we'll talk about Endgame.
Yes.
I'll probably see it tomorrow, but there's no guarantee. But I know next weekend I'm definitely seeing it at the IMAX.
Nice.
Ooh.
You guys know where, but I'm not going to say it just because
Yep.
reasons.
Yep. No. So, back to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
We were talking about. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Goofy being a good dad figure.
Yes. By the way, 2002
Oh,
was
Empire
when
State
Kingdom Hearts 1 came out.
Yeah. No, I was baby. I was baby Sky.
were
What?
baby
How
Sky.
old was I? I was.
Let's see. I would have been. I would have been 6.
How old are you again? No, wait, don't tell me.
Are you talking?
I would have been 8.
Let me just calculate. Get my calculator. This is how old I am. I need a calculator to figure out how old I was in 2002. So, yeah, I was 14.
14?
So like middle school, right? Is that
yeah,
middle
yeah,
school?
that's
Yeah.
middle school.
Yeah, so I was 14. I'm
Yep.
30. That's how old I am.
Eh.
So,
We're various ages. I'm probably the youngest.
Yeah.
Compared to our friend group, isn't
your friend Groot?
The group that we have
the group
for-
that we play D&D for.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
because we're nerds.
yeah.
You are the second
Even in my
youngest.
entire like group people I spend time with,
You're usually the youngest.
I'm usually the baby. I am
I've known you
the
since
young
you
one.
were what? 16?
probably.
Somewhere around there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yep.
You're literally the only person that like I still am friends with from that
Yep.
time, from church and
Mhm.
everything. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Because I don't know. I have an interesting personality, maybe
Mhm.
that
I don't
connects
know.
with older people. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but that's the way it works.
I think Alex and I are just kind of like, he's one of our people.
I've just been accepted at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, but sorry to cut it short, but we are running out of time.
Are we running out of time?
We're running out of
Oh, no.
time.
We are. Bryce, do you have any questions?
I have one question. Why doesn't Goofy curse?
Why doesn't Goofy swear?
Is this a joke?
This is a thing.
It is.
He needs to say "fuck."
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But when that first image of Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and he's like got his arms up and he's like scowling, that was the thing. Is people were like,
Yeah.
Goofy's gonna fuck you up.
This is what we're talking about. We need him to say it.
Yeah,
No.
that's true.
Okay, so final question for me then. Over the entire series, and you brought up that you cried during the third one.
Yeah.
What has been the emotional investment for you in this series? And let's go ahead and try and keep it short-ish. I understand you want to talk at length of the emotional investment it's had.
You asked me that question, you're like, okay, but like 30 seconds.
Honestly, free-form time. So
I
go for it.
yeah, emotional investment. It's just, like I said, it's the first video game that I got into. It's the first time that there were these characters that I wanted to see what happened to them, and I felt like I had some control over it because it's a video game, even though it's like a movie.
Yep.
So yeah, that for me, back in 2002, and then in 2006 or 7 when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, or maybe it was 2008.
Mhm.
There was so much camaraderie around the fans of Kingdom Hearts, and like, so looking back at all the nostalgia of all the things that the fans were creating and the podcasts and the YouTube videos and all these things, there's a lot of nostalgia there for me.
Mhm.
So, and then seeing the payout in Kingdom Hearts 3. Does that answer your question? I don't know if that's what you asked. I don't understand.
Okay, let me kind of put it like this. You've gone through an emotional roller coaster of all the different games. You followed it. You've waited the years for
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts 3. That is
Yeah.
something that I did not experience, is that I did not wait for Kingdom Hearts 3. I had very little emotional investment in it.
Same here.
Okay.
But you did. So
Yes.
I want to ask, what was it like in that waiting period? What was it like? So what was it like playing the first few games that you
Okay.
played? What was it like stretching the series through? What was it like the waiting period? And then what was the final emotional payoff of Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out?
Big question. So, like, when it first came out and I played it again, like I said, it was just, there was a camaraderie of the fans, and playing through it and having Kingdom Hearts 2, like, that is the game that I will go back and play. I'll go a couple months and then I'll go back and play it, and then I'll go a couple months when I'm playing Skyrim, and then I'll go back and I'll play Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, I
Mhm.
go between those two games a lot. So that is just like, that is my game, you know?
Yep.
And so when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, like, the whole waiting time, it was like any tidbit of information that you had.
Mhm.
Like, that they were like, oh, we might have a release date, or there's these actors are announced, or whatever. That's like, okay, it really is happening. So there was that huge buildup
Mhm.
there, and a lot of the fans kind of fell out of it, you know?
Mhm.
Like, they fell out of love with Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Which can happen when you're waiting for 13 years for the final game in, like, a trilogy or a franchise. It's not really a trilogy because all the side games are actually, like, super important to the plot, unlike
Mhm.
other franchises.
Mhm.
So when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, like I said, I took off 3 days of work to play this game because
Yep.
I wanted to know what was going to happen. So the end of the game for me was everything that I wanted. It made me so happy, except for one thing, because it was everybody playing on the beach and they were happy except for Sora. Sora, like, showed up and then he faded away.
Oof.
Yeah. So, and it was all Kyrie's fault because she is not a character that does anything. So, because he was trying to save her anyway. So, for me, it was almost everything that I wanted, and the fact that there was just that one piece missing was a bit of a letdown for me.
Mhm.
But I guess we'll just see where the series goes from here.
Yep.
Sorry, was that too long?
No,
No, that's fine.
that was perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Sky, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. This was fun. I've never done something like this before. So
Yeah. It's a good time here at the Homegrown Nerds podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much.
All right.
And we'll see all you homegrown nerds later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.